Hello, I'm going to look over all pairs now to prepare for next week, and I'll put the timing in the description box below. I'm covering three themes at the moment. One is the US dollar, the other the euro, and the third the New Zealand dollar. Just to cover how I'm looking at them, I am still bullish on the US dollar, somewhere in basically in wave 5 of 5 for another high now. So I still maintain a bullish slant on this, though price movement on Friday looks about to scupper the 1212 count I was favoring, which I'll go over. Second theme is the euro, which seems to have people moving into it, a kind of smart money move. And a number of pairs I've been expecting turns in appear to have made those turns for new bullish trends. And generally, the euro is looking quite strong despite the press. The nerves in the press and the doubts over the coming elections in the Netherlands, France, and Germany. The euro does seem to be preparing to strengthen. And third, New Zealand dollar. I've already mentioned that the New Zealand dollar appears to be the weakest currency in the market, at least among the currencies I follow, and that seems to be the case in a number of pairs, which I'll go over a bit later. Starting with the dollar, we appear to be in wave 5 of 5 overall from 2008. However, the price action on Friday was quite violent, and it appears to be on the edge of scuppering this 1212 count with a violation here. The movement is very steep. So a break here will see me, I will be cancelling this count of 1212. And there will be a couple variations on this. I may be able to stretch this segment here to 5 overall, where the current smaller 1 is now. However, I'm also viewing this as a possible 1, 2, 3 wave move only, which will provide a few alternate moves. So just assuming that the 1212 count is scuppered, which it probably will be, this segment will then turn into 3 waves most likely, barring a move here which holds for the other 5 I mentioned. That will see a turnaround. But right now I'm actually thinking of it differently based on also euro dollar and some other factors like cable. That could see a few variations here for 4 of 5. For example, it could turn into a triangle, which would see this as, this is obviously corrective. We would see this as A, B, C, D, E, and then a wave up. An alternate count could be some kind of ending diagonal too, some larger pattern going up for a new high. For example, this would remain as, for example, for the try, the 4 would then come here, A, B, C, D, E, and then move up. Alternatively, the 4 would stay here, and we would have some kind of ending diagonal for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a new high. Those are the bullish slants I see coming ahead. So 3 bullish slants at the moment. An altered 5 here, and this correction would be 1, 2, 3, and we would turn up, or a try, or an ending diagonal. So there would be chop coming forward with an ending diagonal or triangle, though the bullish slant would remain. There is also the possibility that this could turn a bit deeper, I think, for wave 4. So we could see something like back to here, which would be valid so long as it doesn't cross over here. So we have 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then the wave 5. So that is something I'm also considering. So there are 2, now that the 1212 count is on the verge of being broken, and if it's broken on Monday or Tuesday, there are too many possibilities at the moment for me to be just straightforward bullish. I am maintaining a bullish slant on this, but it could be a deeper correction for 4. It could be a triangle. It could be a larger ending diagonal. I'm not sure. I can just say that there's a bullish slant remaining. Now we're going into the Ides of March Fed rate hike, and there are a number of issues coming on the 15th of March. We have the FOMC meeting. There's the debt ceiling issue in the US. There's the Dutch election. I think the results are on the 16th. And there is Well, there's an expected Brexit Article 50 triggering coming around that time too, now that there's been a delay with the Lord's Amendment. Sometime around then, so 4 major events coming. For the dollar, essentially it's a rate hike, but now that the expectation has been turned around so quickly and we're looking at something like an 80% expectation of a hike now, all of a sudden, you can see the result is that the buying's dried up. But dealing strictly with technical matters, those points I just covered are what I'm looking at. I don't see a bearish collapse here because this segment here from December, that's corrective. And this was 5 waves. The second segment was 5 waves. So the bullish edge is still valid overall on the weekly pattern, on the daily pattern. It just depends how it emerges. If it breaks down here, we could see 4-day here, we could see a try, we could see an ending diagonal for 5. So it's not clear what's happening now, but the strength, or rather the lack of strength in Friday's move puts a lot of doubt into this. The immediate bullish term slant is just about to be negated. So how we handle that in certain other dollar pairs, I'm not trading this. It was much more of a bullish reversal than I expected, and now we have divergence coming in. So it's something to deal with too, and that could see a number of patterns here for a new low, which I'm still expecting, because this segment here, like the dollar, like the DX rather, this segment is corrective. So a possibility is to see this move up for 1, 2, 3 as well. Or it could again morph into a try, or there could be some other type of ending pattern. There is a possibility maybe, essentially it's the opposite of the DX, that this is now 5, and then we're seeing a 1, 2, 3 correction, but I don't like this view because of the strength on Friday. It was a very, very bullish move, very strong move. We're breaking the channel. The 1212 account is dead here. So I'm standing back from this pair to see how it emerges. The weekly chart shows a bullish view too, with stocks turning up. So I am inclined in this pair right now to view a larger correction up. And I mean, you can do some very simple TA here. There's trend resistance, which is effective at least for short-term moves. So it could be something like this: 1, 2, 3, and then back down. So I don't have any near-term guides on this, except that overall it does remain bearish. Looking at the monthly, there's a 1076 area with 8 EMA resistance, so we may see this move up. Failing under this high. I don't have any near-term guide on this at the moment, except that the immediate bearishness has been negated. So I'm standing back from this. Judging by patterns, could be a 5-wave move here. It could also be in wave 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and we'll see a correction with a chance to buy. Unfortunately, it's not clear to me at the moment. I'm moving on. Cable, we seem to be there for X. For the larger pattern, there's still 2 possibilities on this. It's a very good daily close here. We have a possibility for a move towards 128 or above for wave 4 overall, and then another move down. Alternatively, the triangle is still possible here. It would be better for a deeper move for D, However, it may be A, B, C, D, E, and roll over. This has been very complex, and I've been working the bearish slant in it mostly. But now we have 3 waves down overall. I mean, from December, we had 3 waves up, now 3 waves down. And I think it is basically valid. So far, it's been 1, 2, 3 waves down, I think, overall. We may see one more turn down. However, I would take that as bullish. If this can put in a bull flag here, some kind of like bull flag to buy into, for example. That will also work out well as a buy signal in this. We are starting to impulse. I'm just wondering if this is a way for the moment to turn over once more. So it's close to a bullish move, and we are close to Brexit, and we are close to FOMC. So there's a lot of information coming in, and the price seems to be turning around now. This pair, as I've said before, has been a terrible option to trade, in my opinion. There's been nothing going on here since really here, and there was something here. But lately, in the past couple months, it's been poor, in my view. So I'm going to move on. Aussie dollar. This trade worked out well. However, we have turned quite strongly from there. There is divergence in the 1 hour. So again, there are a few possibilities going on here. We've held above the 55 EMA, which I do use as a guide because it is reactive in a trending market. From the ending diagonal, there are a few ways to view this. We do have a possible 1, 2, 1, 2 count, and this is wave 3 of 3. We would have to see this hold beneath the low here, so beneath 7640 basically, and to turn over to complete wave 3. That is possible. The weekly is the problem with there are a few problems going on here. Let me just finish with the bearish count. So basically, I would need to see it hold beneath 7640 and then turn over. A violation of 7640, and I would have to readjust this count as wave 3 being over, and then this would be the violation point 7660 or so. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are the two bearish options I'm looking at. First, beneath here, any weakness beneath here, alternatively beneath here. Again, though, like with the euro dollar, I have doubts about this. There could be a triangle here because this was very choppy. And that would simply turn this into wave 1, A, B, C, D, E for 2, or B rather, and then a third move here for C. And then that would see this just being a 3-wave correction and another move up. Now looking at the larger time frame, the price on the weekly closed above the 8 EMA, which for me is significant. If you listen to these videos, you know I've talked about this before. The 8 EMA is a very strong support and resistance point in trending markets, and I use it a lot. I've been using it on Aussie, New Zealand for trades. Another issue is the stochastics are still holding up here. So this doesn't have much room on the upside to remain valid for the bearish count. I still like the bearish view, but I am wary of this. So if you're in this trade, trail your stops. There are key violation points here, and we'll see what develops in the next few days. This pattern here is so choppy and was disruptive. And even this, which I'm counting as 1 of 3, looks like a 3-wave move. So I am suspicious of this. Now for the weakest of the dollar pairs, New Zealand dollar. It did not close bullishly, but again, so far it's only 3 down. I do want to see this maintain a bearish slant with a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking for a 4th wave of wave 3 overall and another new low. I don't think it is enough to base, even if it is going to turn around so far. So I'm still looking lower. The violation point here for this is here. 7-0, basically 7-1. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to see 4 hold below here to keep this count valid and continue on down. So that is the near-term violation point. It is still looking bearish overall. I'm still expecting it to be bearish. It is starting to turn over on the weekly. That 8 EMA is below. So I'm looking for this to continue down next week with clear violation point here. Otherwise, I'll have to adjust the count on this. Okay, I'll deal with the Euro pairs and the New Zealand pairs because some of them overlap. I've been looking for this low in the ending diagonal for a few weeks now, and it appears to have come in with significant divergence on the weekly, which suggests that overall this is going to be an extremely bullish trend, just as Aussie New Zealand has been very bullish and looks like it'll continue to be. The impulse here in 2015 has seen a very long three-wave correction with a long ending diagonal, which appears to be ending, or rather, probably has ended here. Now from the low, if you've seen the daily videos, you know I've been tracking this. 5-wave move up, long 3-wave correction. I wasn't sure about this before. It looked choppy. I was marking it as a WXY, but now we've broken the top. I'm recounting this as a 5-wave move, possibly for 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're in wave 3 of 3. So we'll see a number of 4s and 5s ongoing. So I'll wait to count this as such. For now, it's immediately bullish. With a number of, there is 8 EMA resistance here. It does seem to be turning up. It's broken trend resistance. It looks like it's breaking the ending diagonal. So it's immediately bullish for a number of 4s and 5s. And we will see a larger 4 here at some point and for a move up for 5 overall. So this is now looking very, very bullish. Okay, I'll deal also with, before continuing with, I'll finish Euro pairs at the moment, then I'll go on to Australia and New Zealand. Euro Oz has also made a low out of this channel, and it appears to be in wave 3 now. I'm marking 1 as a strange leading diagonal, wave 2, and we seem to be in 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We may be ending wave 3 now, or it could just be 3 of 3 ending. So a number of 4s and 5s to come. The ATMA is way up here. I can absolutely see this getting to 142 before the event is done, and then correcting down a bit for wave 2. So there'll be a chance to get into this as well. I would expect on any correction 139 to hold. Certainly 13850, but we may not see it again for immediate term. So 1390 as a correction point. There's a clear trend up. 8 EMA again as a guide. You see 8 EMA as a guide and continuing up in wave 3. And again, Euro Pound. I've switched to a bullish slant on this, and we're somewhere. I had wave 1 originally ending here, but we're extending now, so it is possible that we have wave 1 here, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and now we're extending wave 5 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly. Otherwise, we're already in wave 3 overall, and this was a short wave 2. So until I see a few more gyrations, I don't want to label it. I'm not going to label it as down, obviously, because it's very bullish, but I would like to see a few more gyrations, and there would be a chance to get in on a bull flag for a further move up above to a new high. Okay, Aussie New Zealand, which is still my favorite pair and still exceedingly bullish. The issue on this, I'm marking 2 as done. We had a 3-wave move overall. The issue on this now is that from there, we've had 5 waves up, 3-wave correction, and we're also advancing. I have 5 waves done here, wave 2, another 5-wave move, so we could be in a very aggressive 3rd wave. However, on the 4-hour chart, it's only 3 waves up so far, so I am suspicious of this, and what I can see unfolding is a flat, either an expanded or probably a running flat, which I'll go over in a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for a running flat. Now, if this does fail on Monday and does start to come down on Tuesday as well, I'm looking at it as running flat because of the 8 EMA. I've gone over this before. It works on all time frames. It has already worked on the 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour daily time frames. Now it's the weekly's turn to engage the 8 EMA, which it did this week, and you can see the perfect touch. What I would be looking for on a turnover here, if it does turn, will be for price this week to come back down for a 5-wave move for C of a flat. And if it does, I'll be looking for it to hold above the 8 EMA, which on Monday will open around 106.40. So any move here to 106.50 should hold, and we're going straight back up for the aggressive wave 3. So this pattern overall will be A, B, and C for wave 2 of a running flat to 106.50 or so, and then a continuation up very aggressively for wave 3 towards 112, 114. Now, the alternative is that the bullish count remains and it simply takes off here. And it just runs and runs for the next few weeks. The only reason I don't like this is because we've had 3-wave moves so far. So on Monday, it'll immediately have to take off. But the main reason that I don't like this is because the 8 EMA is a little bit too far away. So I'm preferring that it comes back and can load up more on this and it can take off. I have no bearish slant on this whatsoever. It would have to unexpectedly break down and crack here, which I don't see happening, judging over on the weekly pattern, which is exceedingly bullish. So I'll be judging this, I'll be looking at this very closely on Monday and Tuesday to see how it emerges. If it just takes off, it's too late to get in. You simply have to deal with the bull flag when it emerges. Otherwise, I'll be looking at a flat to get in around 106.50 for a bullish move at the end of the week. Okay, dealing with Euro Yen and Aussie Dollar Yen. From the low, we appear to have made 5 waves up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if this can slow down and turn around now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 of 5, it can turn around and we can have a 3-wave correction. We have 5 waves for 1, 3-wave correction here. I'm judging this now as all of wave 3, 4, and 5. Now, the alternate count here is that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for an ending diagonal. We had a 3-wave move here for wave 2, and now we're aggressively in wave 3. I don't like this view so much because dollar yen also looks like it's going to have a deeper correction and has had 5 waves. So I'm preferring this as a 5-wave count overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some kind of 3-wave correction into 120 basically for next week. The overall pattern on this looks, I'm still holding this as 4, and now I'm looking at this as 1, a number of days correcting for 2, and then a bullish move for wave 3 overall for a new high overall. Now dollar yen, this was a very good pair to trade because we had a 5-wave move and a very deep correction. And from there, it looks like wave 1 extended, 2, shorter wave 3, 4, and now a high for 5. So I'm switching to this count as 5 waves overall from here. So three-wave correction into any type of level. 3-wave correction on this, 1, 2, 3, anywhere down here. We'll be looking at this as wave 2 of wave 3. So the bigger picture is that this is wave 4 overall. We've had 1 up, 2 down, and now we're in 3. 1, 2, 3 of 3. So an aggressive move up, ultimately for a move above the December high. It looks good for that. Everything is trending up on the monthly. The weekly will have to turn over. We'll see some divergence on the next high if that happens, but the weekly closed quite good, quite well. So let's see how this emerges. So looking for a 3-wave correction here. It is possible this is a 1, 2, 1, 2 count. No, actually forget that. I'm looking for this to correct. So Euro Yen to correct. So there'll be chances to buy these further next week. Sorry, I've jumped around a little bit too much here, but the timing is in the description box. I didn't organize as well. So let me go with dollar, US dollar, Canadian dollar. We had a violation point here, so the 1212 count is off. It's a bad daily close. Again, you know, the US dollar, it can be bullish in wave 5, but it's ugly. And I've been expecting this to go up now. I mean, I said before that if we do see, I was preferring not to see this high violated. But now it has been. I've been expecting further continuation in this. And if that does emerge, and we see 136 or 138 for a new high above December, I'm looking for this to come straight back down and collapse. Because in my view, the sideways stochastics on the monthly are going to see this come down further. So basically, if this does continue up, I'll have to view this overall wave 1 here, a WXY pattern, and then 3 waves into here for another X, and a Z up here, which would be a really complex pattern. So the 2 overall will move to 136, 138 area, and a sharp move back down. However, I'm a little bit concerned about this now. It's failing here. We made a new high. There's a bearish candle here. We'll see how this reacts. Because we've had a new high, I would have to view this simply as wave 1 down. A 3-wave correction A, B, and a correction here for C. I don't like this count, but if it does turn over here, that is a possibility. I still prefer to see the high now above 136 to 138 and a very sharp reversal. A sharp reversal like this, where we had a 5-wave move down. This is New Zealand Canadian dollar. I was looking for this to be bearish. It shot up very quickly, and as you can see, it came back down just as quickly. So that's the view on US Canadian dollar right now. There's no real significant divergence here, so we may see this broken, but for now, immediately, I would say this is bearish right away off the bat. See how it reacts on another low. New Zealand Canadian dollar closed bearish again. This count is valid. Overall, the 5-wave impulse here, 3-wave correction, and now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, it looks like. So see a correction in here, chance to sell around 9,500 or so for a move down below 92. Okay, since I'm dealing with this rather randomly, I'll just go to pound New Zealand now. Overall, I'm still looking at this as wave 4. Now it could be a triangle, but I like this move up to 1.8 still, 1.82. Judging by the weekly, sorry, by the 4-hour, we have 5 up, which I'm counting as A, a 3-wave correction. What I'm counting is 3 waves up overall, and then 5 from there. So A, B, and now 1 for C, 2 for C, and on Friday we had a 5-wave move here. I counted this, my labeling was a little bit off. I had this over here before. I realized I should keep it here now for WX and WXY for Y. And this is a 5-wave move, so for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking for this to correct down. It may hold this level here, about 173.50, judging by resistance here. Otherwise, like New Zealand, Euro New Zealand last week, it may come down a bit below diagonal support resistance before taking off. I'm looking at this as 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, and now a 3-wave correction into here. Maybe into here, a bit lower will be better to see 50%, and then we take off. So my view on this pair, I've been working for a while. I'm seeing it as immediately bullish. I'll move to 173. Would work really well to see this then suddenly turn higher aggressively. So I've switched completely to the bullish count now, and I'm looking for this to continue higher, at least at 177, 178 for the weekly triangle, or preferably above the 1.8. I still see a bullish slant on cable, on pound New Zealand, and pound Canadian going into Brexit. Now the issue on pound Canadian is a bit confusing. We do seem to be making the breakout here, though it's been a bit perfunctory. I tried to move this over for WXY, though it's not cooperating so far, so I'm not trading this pair. I'm just taking this as an exercise now. If we do see a breakout here, I will adjust the count. So we seem to be breaking out slowly in a slow sideways manner, which we'll see this as 3 here for A, maybe for B, or rather, I'm not really sure how to count this right now because it's gone sideways. So I'm just going to leave this pair. I've been working on it for a while. It does seem to be breaking out in a slow sideways fashion. So maybe if we see an impulse a little bit higher and a bull flank to get into, that'll be a bit easier. Right now, I cannot buy this because it could still come down and it's not a clear breakout and it's not really impulsive. This overall is a 5-wave move, I think, 3-wave correction. But I'm not sure how to deal with this. I mean, this leading diagonal here would have to be 1, 3-wave correction for 2, and then this is 1 of 3, and maybe one more low for 2 of 3, and then we take off. That's the best I can do on the bullish slant right now. So sorry for the random pair choices going through here. I think I've covered everything. I'll just look at gold at the end, just one moment. Okay, so ending with gold. This is fascinating here. We're in a very bullish situation from 2015, 5 up, 3 down. Right now there's no reason to look for a C wave for this to move 2 over on the correction. Like A, B, C. Forget about that for now. It's too bullish at the moment. Now we've had 5 waves up for a leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're selling off from that. But the close on Friday was very bullish. I don't think this is enough right now for the end of 2. I would prefer to see this as, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 of a leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, and then off. So I'm staying bullish on this pair. The weekly, there is a bearish engulfing here, so we could see a turnover, but again, if we see another low and then a bullish turn, I would prefer to take that. So I'm going to stay bullish on this for now. I think this is not enough, so we may see it back down a bit, but I like this as a leading diagonal either for 1 of 3 or A of B. I mean, we had a 3-wave move down for a moment. Assuming this is 5-wave moves up, this is a 5-wave move up here. So assuming that this is 3 down, this can be marked as A. And this would be A of B, B of B, and C of B here. And then we would see one more low down for C of 2. So that's one possibility. However, the other possibility is that 2 is in. As I explained, I think last week or recently, there's no reason to assume we're going to see another 3-wave decline overall. It may happen, but it might not. This could also be 1 of 3 as a leading diagonal. We see a 3-wave correction for 2 of 3, and then we simply take off for 3. So I think whether you're looking at this as wave 1 of 3 and then have 2 of 3 and we take off, or you're looking at this as A of B, and then we have B of B, and then C of B, it's still bullish and still looking higher to 1.3 to 1300, 1340, something like this. There's trend resistance coming in about 1280 actually. So if we see another move up for C of B, could be something like this. New high and then failure. That's possible too. So I would like to stay bullish for now because you do have the ultra bullish scenario of 3 of 3 coming. But even if this is only a B wave correction overall, I would still prefer to see another new high. Considering this looks like a 5-wave leading diagonal, another new high for B wave overall, and come down for C of 2. So immediate term, it's slightly bearish, or rather it is, pardon me, it's slightly bearish for another wave down here, and then bullish above that, and then you have a choice, or rather I have a preferred choice of either being C of B or 3 of 3. Okay, sorry for the jumping around between pairs. It's late and I have to be a bit quieter than normal. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I hope some of that was clear. My favorite pairs, as I mentioned, Euro New Zealand for the breakout and the very bullish view on this overall. Aussie New Zealand, which is exceptionally bullish still. I like Euro Pound a lot now. I will like Dollar Canadian again at some point when it turns over. And I also like the yen pairs as I've been over. Some of the dollar pairs are a little bit confusing right now. And I like the view on gold as well. So I wish you all a good week, and I'll update during the week, probably on Tuesday. Okay, bye-bye.